Good morning. So I'm here at Hethel at display day. So I'm inside now the Lotus site, and you can see behind me all the cars on display are sort of starting to get assembled. I think they've given an hour for that process, so I was one of the first in. So I'm kind of, where am I, just tucked away in the trees in there. A little bit worried because well, if you excuse the pun, I'm wedged in. So I'll have to wait for someone else to get out. But you know, hopefully it won't be too difficult to get out at the end of the day. There'll be an awful lot of cars trying to leave at the same time, which will be exciting. But yeah, here we go. Lots of Esprits here, obviously. A few other things as well. I'll have a little look down the line. So starting down this end, we've got the 60s cars, the Elans, the Europas. I do quite like the plus twos. I think that sort of slightly longer body helps the shape, makes them look more of a car to me. We've got a slightly more modern Esprit GT3, and then we've got various things in here. We've got a 2.2, a couple of S3s, including mine there behind the tree. This one, I'll probably come back to this one later. There's a particular reason why I'll do that. So yeah, the X180s, another 2.2. And then we've got a couple of S1s owned by Matt, who is the guy that invited me here. Okay, I'm not sure where I got to. I was just got the opportunity to have a quick chat with a guy called Bouke, who's come all the way from northern Netherlands, so from Friesland up in Netherlands. Him and some mates, we'll see their cars in a bit. Anyway, I think I was looking at these S1s. Very nicely done by Matthew there. Just stood there chatting to John, who is also known as Lotus Rescue, another guy who has a barn full of Lotuses waiting to be fixed. This is a lovely looking one, isn't it? So conceptually the same kind of car as mine. It's just black with a gold sort of, you know, almost JPS livery. That is beautiful. If I didn't have red, I think I'd like that kind of colour. So another S3, a little bit later one, because it's got the body coloured bumpers. I'm going to guess, has it got a, no, it's got a special registration, so I can't tell from the registration what age it is, but yeah, I'm guessing that's sort of maybe 85, 86, something like that. Another S3 has come down from Scotland, although it came down on the back of the Lotus Rescue truck. More later ones here. I really should be more clued up about the later cars, but I think, as I said in the previous video, it's the Giugiaro cars that really appeal to me. You know, I'd love a turbo Esprit. That would be brilliant. But yeah, here we go. So more of them, and then here we got the contingency from the Netherlands. I think there was also a guy from Belgium as well. So there's 6 cars in all. I drove down yesterday, I think. Came over between Hoek van Holland and Harwich, and drove up from Harwich. Yeah, so this is Bouke's car. It's actually a later car. There's an 86, but it's been sort of backdated to look like an 82. It is nice. Copper fire red. It's the sun's not out at the moment, but when the sun's out, that looks fantastic. What else have we got down here? Another S3. It's a later one. It's a turbo. It's the HC, so it's a high compression. S2 in gold. Another S3, slightly later than mine again. Body coloured bumpers and things. Another turbo, another S1. Yes, this one there in orange, that looks really nice. It's got the original, let's have a look, it's that original tartan cloth. I'll say original, it's probably been redone because the originals would have faded massively, but that's what they all look like. Fantastic. And another one, also same colour. And then finishing off with another turbo, So it looks like copper fire, yeah, and that's Belka talking to him.
You've got the better wheels. Yeah, you've got the better wheels.
It's just a lovely shape, isn't it? Mind you, if you don't like Lotus Esprit, you're probably not watching this video. So I don't know what this guy's done to upset everyone in his turbo. He's sort of come over here. Maybe they're going to fill up this space with some other cars shortly. Another Turbo Esprit in Calypso Red. And this is the kind of classic shot where cars would have been photographed for the PR outside the original Lotus factory. I say original, the original Hethel factory that they had. So one thing I didn't mention, I don't think I mentioned, perhaps I should have done, is that actually there's a reason for all these Esprits being here. It's because it's the 50th anniversary of the Esprit. So first launched in 75. So that's why it's the Esprit here. I think it's also the 50th of the Eclat. Again, while there's so many, well, there's a number of Eclats over here. Now, Eclat Elite XL, pretty much the same engine as the Esprit. And probably a whole lot easier to work on because it's front engined. And by all accounts, they drive really nicely. But it depends if you like the shape and like the look. For me, they just don't have quite the same appeal as the Esprit. But yeah, still great cars and an absolute bargain. Most of them will be under £10,000, I think. So I said I'd come back to this one. Now, the reason for that is not visible externally until you get to this bit here, where this little clue tells you that it's been electrified. Fairly recently done by these guys, Eco Classics, and I was chatting to the owner earlier on. So he did buy it originally, and it had a sort of retrofit or resto mod sort of later engine put into it. So this is an S2. And it was a fuel injected engine. He couldn't get the fuel injection going right, so eventually he bit the bullet and had it electrified. And so I think it's got the equivalent of about 220 horsepower. It will do 160 miles on the charge, but that could be improved later if you switch out the batteries and put more modern batteries in when they come available. Now, what do I think of doing this? Well, fair dues, isn't it? But the cost of doing it far outweighs the value unless someone's prepared to pay you what it costs to do, because you've obviously had to buy the car as well. Theoretically, it's reversible what they've done, but yeah, it probably costs you just as much to reverse it, wouldn't it? Well, let me know what you think. Should we have an electric Esprit? The owner says, well, he's done with the whole, sitting on the side of the road waiting for a tow truck. This is reliable. He can just get in it whenever he wants and just drive. So it's still registered as classic. It's electrifying in it. A car clearly doesn't lose its classic status if you do it particularly well. So yeah, is that the future? Let me know what you think. Okay, I'm now in search of something a bit special. I've been told that there's a convertible Esprit down here somewhere. The Saint-Tropez, I think I can see it. Not sure if maybe this wasn't here earlier when I came down earlier. But I don't know how many of these exist. But there we are. Lotus Esprit convertible, known as a Saint-Tropez. What's that based on? Is that based on an S3? I'm guessing it is. X registration, so what puts it at 82-ish, 81, 82? Yeah. This knacker duct on the side, the air intake. And then this rear deck.
I put it on pretty new on before you came here. Because the tyre went flat.
Yeah, I don't know if this was it doesn't look like it was a factory thing. Not sure how I feel about it. I kind of like the idea of a convertible, but I'm guessing it's an aftermarket job. Yeah, just had it confirmed. It's not factory; it's an aftermarket thing. So about 7 built apparently. So that's why you don't see them very often. Yeah, don't. I don't know whether they could have done a slightly different or better job of it, but at least the front looks like an Esprit. I've got a nice lineup of cars down here. Looks like mostly Evoras and Evijas, the odd Elise. More recent cars. I think they've come down in convoy. This guy was actually staying next door in the same place as me last night. But he drove out to then meet the convoy to come back in with him. I felt it was just good to get here straight away. I'm just gonna go check the car park. I have to be careful what I film out here. There's Lotus Carlton go past. Quiet thing, wouldn't it? Yeah, so just there's a whole lineup of them. Perhaps I think this has been the holding area over here, and they're just sort of being let out in waves. If you've ever seen any quite as many as this in the same place, same time. It's come from Germany, that one. Yeah, so I'm checking out the car park or the holding area. I need to be careful what I'm filming. I'm not allowed to film anything by the test track. Now I don't know because they don't want you to see any particular prototypes, or whether they don't want you to see the 100 or so Emiras wrapped in their delivery cloth. But anyway, just see what's here. Interesting thing. So obviously the link with the DeLorean is that it was Lotus kind of engineered it, the chassis, based on the Lotus chassis designed by Giugiaro as well, same as the Esprit. I do really like these. I'd have one if I could. And what else we got? Evora M100 Elan, very good value at the moment, and a Lotus Cortina. It's very nice. Waiting for their time to go display. Looks very original. There's no roll cage or anything like that fitted, so it's not being set up for racing. Just going to quickly have a look over here. I don't want to go too far because I might end up straying into territory that I'll then get told off about. So this seems to be the holding bay for related cars. So the Vauxhall VX220 was actually Lotus Elise under the skin, isn't it? I think it was on the same production line. These Talbot Sunbeam Lotus powered and rallied as well back in the day. And the guy who rebuilt my engine, my Esprit, actually worked on these, I think, back in the day. At least he's actually Lotus. Then the Jensen Healey again. I think this was actually the first production car to use the 900 engine. I shot one of these the other day at Salon Privé, and I was just a bit amazed at the amount of room that you have in the engine bay to work on it. Another VX220, and then S3 sitting over there. Looks really nice. I don't quite know why that sat out on its own, but it looks really nice in white, doesn't it? But just imagine that if that had white bumpers and white mirror caps and things like that, I don't know, it would look wrong. And how about that PPW 306N? Very, very similar to the Spy Who Loved Me number plate. I think it was that PPW 308R, something like, or 306R, something like that. But yeah, nicely done. Hopefully you'll get it out into the display before long. Interestingly, don't know if you can see, but he's done the instruments around in white. I don't know if that was a period thing, but it looks quite effective. Yeah, so this is the holding area for the Lotus inspired or otherwise cars. Jensen Healey going in. I think these Talbot Sunbeams will be going in before long as well. been patiently waiting their turn. Yeah, so there is a couple of cars going around the test track. I'm pretty sure they're not production cars or not pre-production cars. They're just kind of experienced drives, but not allowed to film, sadly, and also not allowed to take our cars around the track. But there we go. There's probably too many cars here to do that with. Just taking them. I think they're getting there now, but it's taking them a good couple of hours to get all the cars on display. I'm just really hoping that because I'm sort of somewhere near the front here, I can get out quickly at the end of the day. Get that 3-hour drive home on the way. But yeah, looking forward to a good day. Factory tour later. Sadly, also unable to film inside the factory, so I'm not sure what the connection is or whether there is one. I'm guessing there might be between the Sinclair C5 and Lotus. If you know, let me know. Okay, so after chatting with the guy from the Sinclair C5 restorers, so Lotus did the testing, a lot of the testing, and did the chassis for these, such as the chassis is a sort of a T-shaped bit of metal. But this particular one actually is previously owned by Ayrton Senna. It was actually his actual car, or actual C5. So yeah, we got pictures here of him in it, driving it. They used him in the paddock in the Grand Prix. Apparently this one has been sort of tucked away in somebody's collection for several years, and they've managed to release it for the day. So yeah, very good. So I knew there had to be an Emira or two here somewhere, other than the ones that are whizzing around the track at the moment and the ones waiting for someone to buy them. Nice colour in the yellow, and they got one in the dark red.
Someone else.
Just beautiful cars. They just, I don't know why people aren't buying them. But yeah, if they've got so many tucked away, you'd think they should just drop the price and get a shot of them, get the cash flow in. Otherwise there's a danger that this place could be closing down. Could this be the last factory tour before it closes? It'd be a real shame if it is. They're already laying off people. Is it 500 jobs to go shortly? But yeah, such a shame. So I've just been for a walk around the factory, which you can see behind me. It's the Emira production line. And the good news is the production line is running. Not at the moment, it's a weekend, but it is actually ongoing. There's cars coming off the production line. Not many, but there are some. So yeah, just hope it continues. As I said, there's no photography or limited photography opportunities available in there. But it's an interesting thing. If you ever get the chance to come and have a look, assuming you still can in the future, it's certainly worth doing. So I'm guessing this is an Evija race car version of Evija. It's got a Festival of Speed number on it, so it would have gone up the hill.
This one-off track car, designed for maximum performance, initially impressed the crowd with a flawless morning run. However, the afternoon session took an unexpected turn, highlighting the challenges of handling such a powerful machine in a unique environment.
And sitting next to Emira GT4. So here we have the road-going Evija. Not sure which roads would be best to drive it on, but this is the little party trick, isn't it? That you've got this aero tunnel down either side, and butterfly doors. Great look to them. Don't know if that's the standard wheel you get. Right, I'm just going to see if I can sit in an Evija. Not sure which way I'm going to have to get in. Bottom first, leg first. Oh. bad. Yeah, nice and huggy, as you said. And a bit like the Koenigsegg's, where they don't know what to do with the wiper at the front. It's just straight up the middle of the screen. But yeah, very nice. Now, difficulty getting out. Can I get out? Do you want to come film me getting out? You're going to do it from that side. Ugh. Okay. I guess you'd learn to do that gracefully somehow. Also, this John Player Special Emerson Fittipaldi Championship car. Beautiful.
So, thank you very much indeed to everybody who brought their beautiful cars along to celebrate this anniversary, and for allowing everybody to pick holes in your beautiful cars. And now we move on to the people's choice of the Lotus Esprit. And I'm sure you will agree that we have been given a wonderful selection of cars to look at. And I have to say the people's choice was very difficult to start off with, because there are so many different cars that people have chosen as being their preferred one. However, there were two cars that clearly were head and shoulders above the others as far as you, the judges, were concerned. And the car that came second, which we don't have a prize for, but I thought you might like to know.
We might find a prize, we'll try.
Is a car which is a orange GT3, registration P22 SPY. Good choice, incidentally, good choice. There will be a prize. So where is the owner of P22 SPY? Good, so you make sure you stick close to Nobby before the end of the day.
We won't forget, you will get a prize.
There you go. So, and the winner, I have to say, by a reasonable margin, is an Esprit. Shock horror. And it was variously described as different colours. One of the slips said it was white, another one said it was silver, but the registration is KCX 850S.
Yes.
So it's the winner of, where is the owner of KCX 850?
My friend Matt, the Esprit Whisperer. Okay, I'm going to wrap up the video there. It's been a really great day. It's been excellent to see so many Lotuses and so many Esprits, particularly in one place. I think they were targeting 50 because it's Lotus Esprit 50th. They may be one or two short, but 50 is 50 or thereabouts is good enough, right? So had the factory tour, had a look at all the cars, chatted to lots of people. It's been a really great day, and all I've got to do now is make sure I get home. I'm wondering whether I go for the one-stop or two-stop strategy on the way home. If I don't make it home, then you won't be watching this video. So you've got to have to assume that I did. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Give me a like, make a comment. What would you like about coming here? And subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.